I'm sorry, back with another live, quick live at that. Not gonna keep y'all too long. Just want to talk about something real quick. So I hear a lot of, which I've said it myself before, before I, knew better. Um, why did the narcissist pick me? So I want to talk about how the narcissists have a type, and you fit that type. And if you were to put yourself in a room with a bunch of people who have been victims of narcissist abuse, you know that a lot of y'all will probably just really get it. Like you'll really be able to share your experience with a narcissist. And I mean, share your experience on how the narcissist treated you. You'll have a lot in common, you know, and you may end up becoming a really good, strong support system for each other because narcissists have a type. And you'll realize, like, dang, everybody here is pretty much like myself. You'll find out that the narcissists, they pick certain people for certain reasons, but the personality is pretty much the same. Everyone in that room probably have the same personality. They're probably, easygoing, trust too easy, let people in too soon, you know, take chances too quickly on people. And so, of course, that's how the narcissist attach on to you. And it goes from there. So, yes, the narcissists, they have a type. I was talking to someone earlier today, and we were just talking about how everybody who cut the narcissist, this certain, particular person, cut them off, is because it just seemed like that the person found them out, but everybody's pretty much the same. Hey, Muhammad, talking about how the narcissists have a type and how if you put yourself in a room with other victims of narcissists, you'll realize, like, dang, we pretty much all share the same personality traits, or we have similar experience in dealing with the narcissist. Hey, annoyed flower. So when you think about that, it's like it's a good thing to be able to kind of like fellowship with people who have been through the same abuse. And I know, sometimes we'll say, well, misery loves company, but we're done with being miserable. Like we're not miserable anymore. You know, we realize why we were miserable, and we're not going through that anymore. Now, we're in the healing process, so we can pretty much relate to each other and build a strong support system. We can sit and talk and vent to each other about the experience with the narcissist. That's why it is good to have support groups. It's really good to have support groups and even keep the support groups private. Because if the narcissists find out about that group, they will disguise themselves as being a victim just to snoop around and find out all the details and, you know, just see what people would say if they were a narcissist. I mean, if they were abused by a narcissist. And then they will go off and use that as if they're a victim because they love to play a victim. So the narcissists, they have a type. And like I mentioned earlier, I was talking to someone earlier and we was talking about how the narc lost so many friends. Like soon as people find them out and they connect with people who are familiar with them and they have cut them off. everybody can pretty much relate and say, you know what? And, he did this to me or she did this to me, and it's just something. And it's good that it's being talked about more the right way, and just share. Like share, it's good to share your experience, when you feel comfortable enough to do so. You say, are you Serena Ruth? No. Look, y'all don't start. Don't start getting on here acting crazy now. Come on now. I might have to end up getting some moderators though, because some of y'all be getting beside yourself, and it's time to be serious. If y'all want to play, I'm all for that, but not right now. Like that's what TikTok is for. Go over there and play, but not right now. Please respect the live and like the live. If y'all come in here, at first it was like 20 something people, now it's down to six. I mean, you hear like the live. You seen that one word that stood out that made you click on, for those few minutes or whatever. Narcissist. So y'all know, we know, feel free to stay. Listen for a little while. Hopefully you can take something away from it. But if you join the live, please like the live. Even if you're not a subscriber, which I will appreciate if you do subscribe. Again, if you can take something away from the message. But like I said, I'm making this very quick, not going to be on here long. Um, a narcissist, they have a type. And that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Just know that you were picked because you wore your heart on your shoulder. You know, you were too trusting. You believed in them too much. You pretty much put them before yourself. You put their needs before yours. And they know that that will really benefit them. That's what they look for in people. And just think about how many people have went through the abuse with a narcissist. Just think about that. And they came out of it and they survived and they're able to tell their story and help save other people if they just, you know, take the time out to just listen. Because a lot of people probably have dealt with a narcissist and not knew it. They didn't know it. And not knowing that you're dealing with something like that, you don't know what to call it. So it is good to, just listen to people's stories. It's good to have a really good support system. And it makes you feel good to know that somebody get it, somebody understands. And you're not alone. And not to be, taken out of context as when people say misery loves company. You know, of course, misery loves company. If you really think about it, I wouldn't want to be kidnapped and be the only one in the room. If it's two of us, we both could put our heads together on how can we escape. So, of course, misery loves company. Now, prisoners who done wrong, who should suffer the consequences, I don't have too much to say on that, because I can't speak from that. I mean, but as far as someone who's trying to survive a very toxic situation, I understand why you would need that shoulder to cry on, or someone to talk to who really get it, an open-minded individual who don't just always give a naive response as to look for a better way that you could look at things. Quick to want to give a person a benefit of the doubt after you have expressed how bad you were treated. That doesn't help you at all. That will not help your healing process. You need people around you who are pretty open-minded, you know, and consider the fact that the abuse is real. It's not just about, oh, nobody's perfect, so, you live and you learn and stuff like that. And you won't know until you've gone through it. We all know what it feels like who've been through it, but to express that to someone else, a lot of times it's difficult because you get frustrated because they're not gonna get it, you know. And you don't wish that on anyone, but sometimes you do need someone to talk to. But like I say, it is good to, pretty much share your experience with people who've been through it. But they have a type, and that person was pretty much like yourself. Trust and believe. The same thing and the same reason why they targeted you is why they targeted the next person. And the cycle continues. They're gonna continue to be that way, pick the same type of people for the same reason. That's just how they operate. Ain't nothing new. Nothing's gonna change with a narcissist and their motives. Very sneaky, very vindictive, very manipulative, deceiving, you name it. That's them. Don't expect nothing more out of it because they're never gonna change. Only thing you can change is your position with them. Remove yourself as soon as you figure out who they are, you know. And yes, it's hard to just break away from someone who you're so familiar with, who you've been with for a long time. I never said it'll be easy. You gotta treat it like a breakup, like any other breakup with something that just didn't work out, but at the same time, it didn't abuse you. You gotta look at it like that. Like it's still necessary to go your separate way, for different reasons. Whereas with a narcissist, everybody's reason is the same, you know. You're never gonna leave the narcissist like, well, we can remain. I do believe that we can remain friends. You cannot be friends with a narcissist after you cut them off. They're gonna make you think that, okay, I'm gonna be cool as long as you be cool. And you're like, okay, but what you fail to realize is they're still trying to sneak their way into laying down some type of rules and guidelines, terms of the relationship. That's their way of still being in charge, keeping that power over you. But they're not going to come straight out and tell you that. Why would they tell you that when they know that you're just going to be like, see, I know that I couldn't trust you to change. You ain't going to never change. So they got to make you think, okay, well, this is a fresh start, you know, let's just try again and things will be better this time around. And they're gonna also start pointing out stuff that you should stop doing. And then you be like, okay, like what? So when I say things, you can't just get mad. But it's like that could be so many things like be more specific. What are you talking about? Of course they can't take criticism or none of that. If the narcissists take criticism, trust and believe they got a comeback. They gonna come back with something that's gonna try to make you think that you were wrong for checking them. You're wrong for feeling that way, and that's just be their way of getting payback. They always have to kind of even up the score if they feel like you've done something that puts them in their place, you know, because they look at that as losing. With narcissists, it's just win-win. There's no losses. If they take a loss, they will never let the game end. They're gonna keep trying to start over until they get a win. That's how they operate. So just wanted to point that out real quick. But I'm gonna go ahead on and end the live here. I don't want to keep rambling, repeating the same thing because I have. So, anyway, thank y'all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.